It's almost finished. Melbourne's new Royal Children's Hospital has emerged from its parkland setting and is now just months away from completion. Hello, I'm Kylie Gillies, and today, with the help of some of the experts on the construction team, we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes sneak peek of this amazing new hospital. Before you even set foot in the new Royal Children's Hospital, it's clear that a lot of thought and planning has gone into making it a hospital that's welcoming to children and families and makes it a great place to work. These glass petals, for example, take their inspiration from a tree canopy to create a welcoming environment and reflect the changing light in the parkland. At the main entrance, I meet David O'Shaughnessy from Bovis Lend-Lease. David is the project director and has been part of the project since 2008. So David, we're walking along what's called the main street. I'm from a country town, so I get what a main street is all about. It's about coming together, right?
Absolutely. As you know, a hospital's about a small community, and what we've done as part of the design process is designed a street that goes right through the heart of it, and to make it easy for patients, staff and visitors to get access.
So people will stream through here from the lifts. This is where they'll come out from the car parks.
Absolutely. So the lifts come from the car park up in two central areas. There's access from the street across to outpatients, across to the emergency over this area department, retail streets, and connection over to stage 2 over that side of the site there.
Okay, and that's the amazing reception desk behind us. There's also some amazing artwork planned in this area.
Absolutely. We've got three main pieces of artwork. One is we've got a 30-metre high atrium roof here, and we'll be hanging some colourful swarms from the artwork. We've got a sculpture that sits in the middle of the atrium here, and over on this side over there we've got an aquarium that goes down from this level down to the emergency department.
Oh wow, an aquarium over 2 levels. It's like Finding Nemo. The kids are going to love that.
Absolutely.
What have we got over here, David?
So this is the entrance over to the outpatients area.
Yeah.
And over on this side, we've got the shop at RCH, little output for retail pharmacy there, and also over in this area here, we've got the cafeteria in that area there. And
this is for staff? That's for...
Well, it's for staff and visitors and patients. And this is access over and out to the inpatient ward through this area here, and access out into the landscaped area, which should help bring the outside environment into this hospital.
Yeah, it's so light and airy and breezy. It feels great.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
The hospital has been designed with patients, family and staff in mind. The building layout means a more integrated approach where departments and areas are aligned more closely. It allows patients and families to access care and services without having to travel too far inside the hospital. And for staff, it means you should have just what you need close at hand. The hospital is designed into 3 main buildings. But for staff and visitors, the transition from one area to the next will be seamless. The East Building includes medical imaging, emergency, outpatient and ambulatory care, allied health, peri-operative, laboratories and the helipad linked with the main clinical patient lifts. The North Building has our inpatient wards. Its special shape makes the most of natural light and parkland views. The design allows for 80% single rooms, with 85% of all rooms having a view of the parkland setting. This design reflects the growing evidence about the value of nature as part of the healing process. And the West Building houses 1 clinical floor for day treatments, then mostly administrative and office areas for staff of the Royal Children's Hospital and our campus partners, the Murdoch Children's Research Institute and University of Melbourne Department of Paediatric staff. Showing me around the education precinct is Jason Chivers, a senior site engineer with Bovis Lend-Lease. So Jason, I know this is a building site, but already it feels really quiet and peaceful, a peaceful space.
Yeah, it does. It does. This library space has got one of the best frontages of a library I've ever seen. It faces
this is
on
Flemington Road.
Yeah, it faces onto Flemington Road. You also get the view through all the petals and all the multicolours, and all these columns will be painted white eventually. It's part of the wider educational precinct of the hospital. So students and researchers and staff of the hospital can come here and read journals and just chill out a little bit because it's a nice quiet space. You're linked in through the rest of the hospital, through the internal streets, so they can cross over bridges on level 1. They can also come up through the lifts. There's also a link in with many other aspects of the hospital.
So Jason, yet another amazing space for staff. I kind of get the feeling that technology and learning is going to play a big role here.
Yeah, it will. It's, this room's layout has been designed to really take a hold of the collaborative learning experience and environment. So you'll see that there's a whole bunch of pod tables around. That's really to get small groups sharing their ideas and getting them to work as a team. So within this precinct there's the latest and greatest digital technology, so we can not only confine the teaching space to this hospital, but we can also expand it out outside the walls of the hospital.
It's here in the West Building that most office staff will work. Key to the design of the new Royal Children's Hospital is a separation of clinical and non-clinical areas, which keeps administration areas patient-free. The design is based on what's called a collaborative model, where there are more shared spaces, a mix of open plan work areas and some small offices. Importantly, there are quiet rooms and meeting rooms, stationery and print rooms, and breakout areas to provide a chance to share a coffee and talk ideas. Over in the East Building, the peri-operative area is rapidly taking shape on level 3. 14 new operating theatres feature the latest technology, including the much-anticipated intra-operative MRI funded by the Royal Children's Hospital Foundation. This will be the first in a children's hospital in the country. It will make it easier for clinicians during surgery to be able to quickly assess their work. And there are other innovations outside theatre, such as locating the Clinical Sterilisation Services Department on the same level. The CSSD is where instruments and carts are washed and sterilised, and is an example of how an all-new model of care will improve patient safety. The new model of care is also reflected in the Stage 1 and 2 recovery areas. The whole patient journey from pre-op to recovery to home or into the ward is based on international best practice and refined by Royal Children's Hospital staff to deliver the best for children and their families. The same evidence-based thinking has been applied to the new short-stay surgical and short-stay medical areas. Hospital data around length of stay shows these two areas will be important supports to the clinical areas. The medical short stay is adjacent to the emergency department and caters for medical patients with a length of stay of up to 48 hours. Each room has its own ensuite and room for a parent to stay. The new surgical short stay unit is next to the theatres. This 14-bed ward will cater for surgical patients with a length of stay up to 24 hours. Right from the beginning, staff have been actively involved in the design of these areas. It's over in the North Building, where the inpatient unit is, that we see where staff, patients and family have had a real chance to participate in the design process. Georgia Kenley, one of the site engineers with Bovis Lendlease, knows the new inpatient unit better than most. So Georgia, as much as an intensive care area can feel welcoming, this does.
Yes, it does. So one of the major design principles was for it to feel welcoming, not intrusive, and yet we still had to establish the critical healthcare needs that obviously intensive care patients need. So obviously one of the major elements is that now that we're in a single bedrooms, as all these bedrooms are in this 12-bed pod, we still have to maintain from this main staff base area a line of sight to all the doors.
So Georgia, as we step into one of the intensive care rooms, and this looks amazing, a bit of a change to the old facility.
Absolutely. So we've introduced pendants. So these pendants take all the equipment up off the floor and it allows you to move around the patient more freely and more easily.
Patient rooms have been standardised across the hospital. In fact, 80% will be single rooms, with space for parents to sleep and amenities for children and families. And the rooms are designed to maximise views to the surrounding parkland. Right from day one, the natural environment of Royal Park was seen as the perfect setting for a healing environment. Not only is the building ideally positioned to take in the views, it's also been carefully designed to complement and reflect its surrounds.
Now, as the mum of two little boys, I know how important an emergency department at a children's hospital can be. Hello again, David. This is where we find ourselves now, in the emergency department. A little bit of work to go here.
Yeah, Kylie, we do have a lot of work to be done. We've still got the finishing touches for the interiors to be done, signage, loose furniture, medical equipment, all of that really needs to still be installed. Testing and commissioning of all the building services and the ICT, and landscaping, and also, most importantly, getting the staff familiar with how to operate this new facility.
Oh, I bet they can't wait to get in here. It's so exciting. You can see it really is starting to feel like a hospital.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the completion.
It's incredible to think that by the end of 2011, the new Royal Children's Hospital will be open and operational. The staff, patients and their families have had enormous input into the design of the hospital, and it shows. This is a wonderful place with world-class facilities and equipment, but importantly, it's also a beautiful, light and welcoming place for staff, children and their families. But when you look at the thought and detail that has gone into the new hospital, I can't think of a better place to care for the health and well-being of children and adolescents through leadership in healthcare, research and education.
This is one of the amazing link bridges that are found in the new facility, and it's where we end our tour today. So much work has already been done here at the new Royal Children's Hospital. A lot of work still to go, but I look forward to witnessing and hearing all about the amazing work that will be done within these walls. I'm Kylie Gillies. I'll see you soon.